Hi, welcome back. This is Linda Pinizzato at the Hayes FM, speaking to you today with Mandeep Jazzal, and he is involved with the Strawn Community Office for Georgetown South project of Go Transit. You know, we talked a lot about congestion and new innovative designs, the big new move projects of Metrolinx and their fabulous unveiling this past November. You know, interesting enough, economic disruption of congestion. We talked about congestion, but interesting. I think that it will also help the hindrance of trade and movement of goods is something that people don't think about. When they think about rail, they don't always think about that. I think it's because we just expect everything to be in the stores, and how it got there, it doesn't really matter as long as it's there. Would you not agree?
I agree. Rail is a predominant mover of goods, whether it be stuff on the grocery shelves, vehicles coming from overseas. But just being able to decrease congestion on the roads also helps truck traffic. You can see on the roads there's a lot of truck traffic as well, moving goods and so forth. So there's a snowball impact to everyone if we have more choices as far as transportation is concerned. If we can get cars off the road, there's more room for trucks and less traffic all around. So even if you're not a transit user, there still are economic benefits. There's better access to employment as far as going to and from if you're still using a vehicle. If there's more people off the roads, there is an effect of more room if you're still choosing to drive. So
yeah, exactly. And I know that there was a push on for carpools to try to get that same type of thing going, but, it's not going to be anywhere near the benefits that Metrolinx is going to bring to the province.
Well, you're right. I mean, the projects that we have undergo, as I mentioned, the Georgetown South project, which is halfway through now and will be complete in 2015. Some other significant projects that I want to mention that Metrolinx is involved in is the 4 Toronto light rail transit projects. They will add 52 kilometers of rapid transit spanning across the city of Toronto. We are also building a bus rapid transit system in the city of Mississauga, where the buses will have dedicated lanes. You may see that on the 403, where they have got the high capacity lanes on the 403, and
perfect.
The same on
good spot for it.
Exactly,
yeah,
the same on
spot.
the Don Valley Parkway, where Go buses are allowed to ride on the shoulder. So we're implementing.
So you mean traffic will flow on the DVP? That was, you heard it here. This is history in the making.
Well, currently the parts of the DVP allow Go buses to travel on the shoulder, and only the Go buses when there's traffic. So what that does, it obviously decreases commute times. It allows us to position buses better from our different locations.
Well, I actually love that highway. I love it because it's got beautiful scenery. I mean, like really, seriously, it does have beautiful scenery, up, down, round, and around, and up and here. And the only problem is that I think it was at 90. I think the speed limit is like 90. The congestion is unbelievable, and and I can't tell you how many times I've heard of it being a parking lot. So
I've heard reference to that as well. Yeah.
Exactly. So if I'm traveling it at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm all okay. But if I'm like at 4:30, 5 o'clock, I don't think I care for that too much. So.
Yeah. So other than Toronto, Mississauga, we're also in the midst of making a bus rapid transit system in York region. So will be, again, dedicated bus lanes across Highway 7. So that should enhance transit use out in that region. And in Durham, we're also going to be introducing express buses in that region. So the very essence of Metrolinx is to connect the entire region.
Oh, absolutely.
And you can see that from the projects that we have already with shovels in the ground and with other elements of the big move. It's to get everyone across the region all the way to stretching to Hamilton, Oshawa, the GTHA, essentially, to get moving.
Exactly. Well, I had gone to as well as the Scarborough Rapid Transit Extension, future Finch West Light Rail Transit.
That's right.
Shepherd East Light Rail Transit.
Yep.
So, I mean, you're looking at, and I will tell you that if I think condominiums, for instance, Shepherd, Finch, downtown Toronto, Mississauga, City Centre, these are incredibly high density condominium areas. So, a lot of people that do own condominiums may not necessarily own cars. And, so for them to be using public transit and having the ability to move around, the GTA with this kind of comfort is going to be very helpful.
Yes, no, I totally agree. I mean, whether you're a condo dweller or, in a two-story family home, the benefits of having more options for transportation, are evident to everyone
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
in the region.
Absolutely. So tell me something. What is the role of community relations for this project? Where does Metrolinx stand on that? Like, have they gone around for different seminars with people? They're doing an outreach program, studies. Is there some kind of a platform for all the different areas around the province, or just necessarily in the main focus spots?
Well, we're already building. There is a focus of having a community relations aspect to those projects. We recognize that we're building very large infrastructure projects in urban settings.
Right.
So, we wanted to have folks on the ground as a first point of contact for any concerns that local residents, businesses, and other stakeholders may have. So for the project in York region, there's a dedicated community liaison team there. For the Toronto transit projects I mentioned, there's also a dedicated community relations division there. And obviously for the Georgetown South project, which I'm involved in, we've got 3 community offices along the corridor. Our corridor stretches 20 plus kilometers. And our role is really to communicate with the residents, build relationships with the stakeholders, and let them know what work is occurring and how it impacts them. And it just doesn't go as far as communication. If there's feedback we get from stakeholders that would impact their businesses or the like, we will work with our project team to see where we can minimize any impacts. We also build relationships and partner with different stakeholders within the communities, like residents associations, business improvement areas. Recently, last September, we partnered with the Liberty Village Residents Association and had a movie in the park night at one of the parks in Liberty Village. Over 200 community members came out and enjoyed the 80s classic Ferris Bueller's Day Off. So that's kind of our role. Is we understand we're there, we're building, we're not going to shy away. There will be impacts, there will be noise and road closures, but we're there as a first point of contact that if something does go wrong, or how we can, mitigate that and work with the community.
Exactly.
To get this done.
Well, as you may know, I'm the founder of the Condo Owners Association, and we have divisions all across the province. So those divisions encompass more so volunteers to be committee members.
Yes.
So we have our directors that are Co-Ontario, and we're dealing with all the provincial aspects of the Condo Act right now. And actually, that's how I met Carmen from your office. We were out and about and basically pushing forward to try to get changes to the Condo Act and have a Condo Act review with the Ministry of Consumer Services and trying to create a better governance and accountability with the operations of condominiums. But the reason I'm mentioning all that is it sounds like we're actually opening the door with Metrolinx to work with them more on community awareness as well, because we do have COA Toronto, which would cover it. We have COA Mississauga, we have COA Hamilton, Burlington, COA Oakville, COA Georgetown, and so on, Oshawa. And definitely there's a wonderful mechanism there to be able to work together and create more community relations for the project, working with the Condo Owners Association. Because, condo owners have got to be, way up there as far as a strong commuter for any GO Transit Metrolinx operations. Yeah. Only because of their lifestyles and so on.
Yeah, no,
right?
I agree. And we have built really strong relationships with a lot of the property managers and board members in Liberty Village, specifically because that's where a lot of the impact, where our office is. And we work really well hand in hand with them as far as pushing out communications. We understand the intricacies of getting communications out to people who live in high rises, access issues, and so forth. It's not like we can go door to door.
Right.
So,
well, of course, yeah.
So we've built relationships with the property managers, and we converse with them, on a continuous basis. And they let us know what their concerns are, and they push that out to the residents. So that's a really good relationship that's working
Perfect.
well.
We'll have to open the door for you for TEDRA then, the Toronto Entertainment District Residents Association.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, COA's working actively with them right now, and just because of everything, we have just so many multifamily dwellings going up all across. It's actually gotten out of control. I mean, we have a huge out of control development situation with condominiums right now, and again, how does it bring Metrolinx in? Well, the congestion on Spadina,
yes,
is insane. You can't get anywhere. Like, we have condo owners that are trying to get out of their underground parking, and they can't get out of their underground parking because the people in front of them can't get on to Spadina.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, it's you can't get through the lights, you can't turn right, you can't turn left, you can't do anything.
Yep.
It's just total gridlock
Yep.
all the way.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah, and you've mentioned in an isolated area, but you go to any region in the GTHA, and those problems are consistent. And,
403, Highway 403 here in Mississauga is
That's
really,
right.
really busy as well. I
That's
mean,
right.
it's really highly congested at certain times of the day.
Yeah. So, I mean, having this focus now on improving the transportation options within the region, I think, are something that is required. And, with the big move, Metrolinx is really pushing forward, and, hopefully things will keep on pushing forward, and we'll get more shovels on the ground with some of our proposed projects.
Well, I think families out there, it's interesting. We have a health show on the Hayes FM, and it's great. It gives all the inside information and health issues and this and that. And we have to say that, all of this long commutes has got to take a toll.
Yes.
Frustration sitting inside your cars and just being incredibly frustrated.
Yeah.
It's taking you so long, and, the possibility of being late,
You're right. Commute times, compared to cities like Los Angeles, New York, where the general perception is, traffic is always a nightmare there. Toronto and the GTHA ranks right up there as far as commute times. And with the population growth we're experiencing, that we're going to continue to experience, that's only going to get worse with more people coming to the region. So if there's no plan in place to mitigate that, we are in for worse times. So like I said, the big move is there as the solution to that foreseeable problem.
Exactly. Well, the other thing, too, is very quickly I'll mention 33 million new trips by 2031. That is really, wow, that just shows you where the growth is of our beautiful cities. So we are listening today to Mandeep Jazal, and we're on the Hayes FM. It's Linda Pinizzotto, the condo expert. We'll be right back.